I remember as a young boy preparing for my first confession and thinking that I had to come up with some great sin to confess because I didn't have anything, and I didn't want to walk into the confessional empty-handed, and I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of the priest and not having anything to confess. And I remember stressing out about it and thinking, what am I going to say to this priest? What am I going to confess? I can't think up of anything. And I remember walking in there and coming up with some sin that I probably blew out of proportion, that wasn't really as legit as it really should have been. Since I've been a priest, I hear a lot of confessions. And I think the main issue with people is the exact opposite, is that not that we have nothing to confess, but that we're afraid to confess the real stuff. We're afraid to confess the stuff that might be embarrassing. We're afraid to confess the stuff that we don't want anyone to know about. And so we don't go. Maybe we stay away for a long time. Maybe it's a couple of months. Maybe it's a couple of years. Maybe it's a couple of decades. But now is the time to go. Now is the time to come to confession, to not let anything get in the way, not let that embarrassment, not let that fear, not let the time be any stumbling block. We had a very good, holy priest that was a great mentor to a lot of us young guys here on Long Island, and he just passed away. Monsignor Jim McDonald was probably the closest thing to the curé of ours any of us had ever met. And if there's anything good in my priesthood, it's because I try to emulate his. And he had this great line. He used to tell people, if you're afraid of confession, if it's been a long time, if you don't know what to do, if you don't know what to say, if you don't know how to start, if you've forgotten all the prayers and you just don't know what to do, walk into the confessional, kneel down, sit down, and simply say to the priest, Father, I'm a friend of the Blessed Mother. And that'll be our cue to walk you through it. Because Mary constantly wants to bring others closer to her Son. She doesn't want anything to get in the way. She doesn't want to let your fear or your embarrassment or anything. And so she takes us by the hand and she brings us to her Son. And so if you come into my confessional or any confessional and you say to the priest, Father, I'm a friend of the Blessed Mother, we'll take it from there. We'll examine your conscience with you. We'll walk you through the sacrament. There'll be no reason to be afraid. There'll be nothing to be embarrassed about because Mary's there. Because in that great sacrament of mercy, Jesus Christ washes away everything that's wrong in our lives and gives us a chance to start over again. So if it's been a long time, if you don't know what to do, if you're nervous, if you're embarrassed, if you've forgotten all the prayers, it doesn't matter. Tell the priest you're a friend of the Blessed Mother, and Mary will walk you through it. Mary will bring you through it. The priest will give you absolution, and you'll be able to walk out of that confessional a friend of the Blessed Mother, pure, clean, and ready for a new day.